Good afternoon, folks. It's Regina Bergman with CEO of Bridgeport Strategy. Don't know who I am today. It's Friday afternoon. I hope your week has been wonderful and that you're looking forward to a great weekend. I am here today again with Eric Nelson, author of the book Closed, The No BS Approach to Sales. And Eric has been sharing some tips with us this week from his book, which we're excited to have him do. And he's got another great message for us today, taken right from his book and his course. And I can't wait for you to hear all about it because it will make a difference in your ability to effectively make sales, to effectively communicate with your prospects and clients. So, Eric, welcome. We're glad to have you here again today.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be back here.
Excellent. Well, I know that we're going to talk a bit about values today and how we do or do not project those on our clients or on our prospects. So why don't you take it away and tell us all about that?
Sure. So a lot of people, especially that are brand new to sales, project a lot of their own personal values and beliefs onto their prospects. One of the things that I teach and that I really try to hammer in with my students and my mentees is your values are not necessarily the same as your client's values. But just because you wouldn't spend, say, $2,000 on a sales course doesn't mean your prospect wouldn't spend $2,000 on a sales course. Because if you look at it this way, if they were able to take away maybe 1 to 2 bits of valuable information that increased their business, say 2 to 5%, which in turn meant more than a $2,000 return, would that not be worth the investment? So that's one of the things that I really try to hammer home with my students. And a lot of the projections that they give, I have 3 different ones in the book, talk about being afraid to bring up pricing. You know, $5,000 to you might sound like, oh my God, that's such an incredible amount of money. But to your prospect, that's not even an accounting error. They don't even think twice about bringing that because that $5,000 that they invest could be a $100,000 return on their investment just from that information that they gathered. And also having a lack of confidence. And that confidence really comes with experience. The more you do something, the better you're going to get at it. If you're not a very good speaker, well, you need to join Toastmasters and volunteer for table topics every single week so you can become a better speaker. Get out there and do it. Do interviews like this. And also projecting a fear that it won't work. You know, just because you don't think a program or a product isn't going to work doesn't mean that your prospect doesn't have a very creative way of thinking about it. All right, well, if I take this, I do A, B, and C with it, then yeah, there's no reason why it wouldn't work.
Very good. Let me just have you clarify something for me. So when we're talking about values, what often comes to my mind is like something you mentioned in an interview a couple of days ago where you talked about you have 5 tenets that you live by in your life. So you're not saying change your values, ditch your values, anything like that. You still operate by those values, right?
Correct. Right. Yeah. So it's a lot of it comes down to limiting beliefs. You think something costs too much. You don't think something will work. You're not open to a different way of seeing it. Your experience is not going to be the same as your prospect's experience.
Very good. I was visiting with someone yesterday. We were talking about someone that was working on some marketing materials for her. And the person had the perception that the cost was too high on this particular product. And the one thing I wanted to clarify with her was, is this person financially your ideal client? Because if they're not, if they're living in a different realm of, the folks that would buy that course, then of course they would think it's too expensive,
Right.
right? That's kind of what you're talking about, isn't it?
Right. Absolutely. I mean, when I'm charging $2,000 for my sales course, I know there's going to be people that can't afford that. And I know, and I don't want someone to go into debt, take food off their table to do that. I want someone that, you know, has the ability to take what I'm teaching and run with it and make 10,000, 100,000 or more with the
Right.
information that I give. It's
Right.
all about value, because it really never comes down to price. You know, we talk
Right.
about in sales, we talk about price a lot. Gosh, that's too expensive. They want a lower price. But what it really comes down to is the value.
Exactly.
Either the value isn't high enough where it needs to be, or they don't know, they don't see the value.
Right.
And if you don't see the value, that means you as a sales individual haven't articulated that value to them to the point where they can understand it and internalize it.
Right. I remember John Assaraf I went to one of his programs in San Diego a few years ago, and I remember him saying value or price is only an issue when value is not there, value is not understood. And so as long as you convey that value, the price is not an issue.
Right? Because people afford what they want to afford.
That's true.
You know, you see it all the time, especially, you know, I don't want to dog on Phoenix, Scottsdale area, but you see a lot of people, they'll walk around with a Louis Vuitton purse that costs $2,000, but yet they're still on food stamps. You know, I mean, that's a very extreme example,
Sure.
but you know, people afford what they want to afford.
Yeah. Yeah. It's called discretionary income for a reason, right? It's up to your discretion how you're spending those funds. And I like what you said earlier, though, about you don't want people taking food off their table to get into your course. And I know that you've got your book, which is a lesser cost. I mean, shoot, it's 99 cents right now. So if somebody's struggling, most of us can find 99 cents somewhere, right? So you can get them in the door.
Sure.
To this information for them at a lower level if they're not ready for that $2,000 course. And of course, those who are ready, great. Let's get them in there. Let's get them trained. Let's get them putting that to work and getting the value back out of that $2,000. But you do have the book to start with. You've got your course, and I'm sure you'll be having some other things in between, you know, at various times. And then of course, from your course, you've got other one-on-one work that you're going to do, or one-on teams, that kind of a thing. So yeah, it's all a matter of where they're at currently. And that's so true of anybody, any salesperson's prospects. They're all at different stages. So you cannot project your limiting beliefs upon them. You need to meet them where they are, right?
Absolutely. And I also have a ton of free content. It's like what we're doing right here. I mean, this is free content with a lot of value for people.
Right. And I've seen your posts on LinkedIn that, you know, that you're providing value there. I know you're going to be doing your once a week Facebook events, Facebook Live events in your Facebook group. You know, so I know that you're giving a lot of value in other places as well.
Absolutely.
Very good. And folks, if you missed any of the interviews that we've done earlier this week, Eric did announce that he's got his course coming out, and that should be out no later than the first week of April. It's possible it could be sooner. So stay tuned next week for our announcements and our interviews next week to stay on top of that. But if you want to pre-register for that, you can reach out to Eric. And I believe that on his website, there is a pre-registration for that on redpillsales.com. So you can go right to the website and register for the course now. You don't have to wait to register. And then just as quickly as those lessons are in there, you'll be notified. So that's, you can take advantage of that now. The book, 99 cents for the Kindle version of the book. The paperback will be coming out shortly, but the Kindle is there for 99 cents right now, and that price will be going up. So now is the time to grab it if you have an interest in reading that book and applying those lessons. We've gotten some great reviews, or I should say Eric has gotten some great reviews on the book, and you can take a look at those as well. And see what others have to say about it. And so that's an option for you as well. If you do pick up the book, we'd love to have you give Eric a review as well, right, Eric?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Love it.
So Eric can be reached again at Eric. You want to give him your contact information one more time?
Sure. It's Eric Nelson at redpillsales.com.
Excellent. Check out his website, redpillsales.com. You can also order the book directly from there. It actually takes you to his Amazon page, so you can order the book, but you don't have to go out to Amazon and find it. You can just go to his website, redpillsales.com. It's at the very top of his website. You can order the book and then check out the other things that are in there, or on his page. So, Eric, I thank you again for coming and sharing with our audience more about your book and about your course. And I'm looking forward to more visits with you next week. Folks, we're going to continue this next week. And so stay tuned, because he's giving you some great free value coming right out of his book. So we appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And we will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend.
Oops.